Some voices feel like they've always been with us, stitched into our childhood, into joy, into wonder. But even familiar voices can take on strange new shapes. Three worlds, infinite feeling, one voice, bringing magic, madness, and meaning to life. Welcome to the stage, Kaitlyn Robrock.
Yeah, come on up, everyone. We want this to be a nice personal affair. I've been using the term affair. It feels wrong, but I mean, it's not. We mean a close family thing. So come on up, guys. It's okay. The VIP section's open too. It's all right. They might come closer in time.
Well, now I'm wondering, what are the three worlds I'm in?
Well, we got Minnie Mouse. That's the easy one.
Okay.
We got Mr. Pickles.
That's true.
And then I guess we have Earth, the one we're in now.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah.
Hi guys, how are you today? Are you all drinking your water? Because I'm drowning like a fish.
We're all parched here. Caitlyn. It's good to see you again. I know you and I got a chance to talk in March when you were in Wilmington. Mm-hmm. And, one of the things we talked about was sort of your development into, let's talk right about it, Minnie Mouse. You had a very interesting start into the role. And I know a lot of that had to do with your time actually working at Disney in the park. Yeah. So kind of get our audience up to speed here and tell us maybe your early start, with Disney and how that led to you now being the voice of one of the most iconic characters in Disney.
My starts are always kind of unique because when I learned I wanted to do voiceover, I was about 8 years old, and my birthday is in December. So I usually get to pick the movie we would see whenever we'd house sit for my uncle in LA as a birthday treat. And I wanted to see Beauty and the Beast when it was coming out. And my brother worked on me all day to convince me to see Hook instead, because he didn't want to see Beauty and the Beast. He wanted to see Hook, but he successfully convinced me, and my parents knew, she didn't want to see that before. And now she does. But it turned out to be the most important movie I'd ever seen, because that's how I discovered Robin Williams. And a year or two later, we saw Aladdin in theaters, and it was Robin Williams again. So when I saw Hook, I wanted to be an actor. When I saw Aladdin, I wanted to be a voice actor, or at least I want to do cartoons like that. I didn't know what a voice actor was, but I knew I wanted to talk and be a cartoon because of it. So my false assumption was you have to be on Broadway to do that. Yep. Certainly couldn't hurt, but I tried working towards moving to New York, being on Broadway. It did not pan out at all like I thought. But when I came back from college from this trip that I took, there were classes online, there were teachers, there were ways to make a demo, make a development. And then my very first project was a show called Mr. Pickles on Adult Swim. And my start for that was, there was a show called Drawn Together that came about early 2000s on Comedy Central. I watched it all the time in college. To me, it was so funny. It will not fly now.
Oh, of course not.
But, the tongue-in-cheek kind of humor. And then at a San Diego Comic-Con, they were going to do a direct-to-DVD movie. So me and my friends, let's go to that panel. Let's support the cast, support the show. I knew Jess Harnell personally by then, because I had seen all the voice actor panels, and I would meet the actors after the panels to ask, how did you do voiceover? How do you start? And I get that a lot too, and I try to give people really honest but encouraging advice. It's hard. It's very hard, and there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, but I wanted to do that. So we see the panel, and at the end they say, we're going to have a contest. The winner will be drawn into the movie and have a voice line. So they picked two guys, and then my friends yelled out, pick a chick. They see us in the front row, and Jess points and has me come up because he knows I was working towards this. So we do the contest, 5 hours handcuffed to the creator. Fun times at the OK Corral.
I was going to say, yeah.
5 hours, everyone was too scared to try the bathroom or anything. And finally at the 5th hour, Dave was like, this has to stop. We're going to draw all of you in the movie. Hooray, great, we'll all go home. The two other guys left, and I went, I'm going to be that person. What about the voice line? Can I have that? And Jess said, I can vouch for her. Yeah. She's working towards this. So they said yes. I went in, I ended up doing 3 different voices for the movie. kept in touch with them. They brought me into another show for a role between me and Jennifer Tilly. You can guess who got it.
Yeah.
And then whoever was at that callback sent me to Mr. Pickles because I was of like-minded, and I booked Mr. Pickles.
Wow.
As Tommy.
Yeah.
The innocent, sweet little boy. But then I do so many other things on that show. So that was my first start in voiceover. And then I knew I wanted to do Minnie Mouse for like 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
But just because I worked at Disneyland, and my first couple years, like we were relegated to Town Square and Toontown, like that's where you cut your teeth on. If you can handle those locations, you can go anywhere. So we basically memorized the Christmas parade that winter season, because I was there all the time.
Yeah.
And so the float was coming in with Mickey and Minnie ice skating, and it was our lunch period. And I come out with my little lunch, and Mickey says his line, and then Minnie goes, "Mickey, watch me twirl!" So she can do a little twirl on the ice float. And I just kind of did that impression of it because I knew it was coming. And my coworker's like, "That's really freaky. You sound just like her." It's like, okay, well, that's freaky to you, but good for me.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't love Minnie?
Yeah.
So from that point on, I just kind of, anytime I would hear anything with Minnie, like on YouTube, thank goodness for YouTube, or any shows or parades, I would just listen and repeat back how she would say her words, how she'd say her vowels, her consonants. Does she squeak up? Does she squeak down? What nasality is there? Because she was very nasal. You know, and what's a baby quality to that vaudeville style versus like a weird baby stringency? It's just those little things. And she passed away very suddenly 6 years ago. And the audition came through like any other. So I read for it and I submitted and I felt so good. And then I got a call back. And then I started freaking out because how long was it I was super anxious because I wanted it so much. And it's a one and done with Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful to have this until I, pass on or go to jail. I don't plan on going to jail.
As if that were an option.
The future's bright and open for everyone, so we'll just find out. But so for that whole week, I was just stressing out. And my friend Daniel was currently the voice of Donald at the time. He's like, "You just got to give it time. D23 Expo's happening. There's probably hundreds of women who read." And a certain somebody at D23 who's involved. I didn't know he was involved at the time.
Right.
But he made it known he was then because we passed each other, and he's a handshaker type of guy. So he was shaking hands with our group, and then he's like, "Hey, you." And he comes in for a hug, which is not awkward, but it was just like
It was different.
It was just like, why a hug?
Yeah.
Because he whispered, "Congratulations, it's looking really good." And then he walked away. And like, well, now I'm about to have a stroke and freak out in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So that whole week was, fizzled, but now I'm stressing for the next one.
Right.
Congratulations, as in I got it, or it's looking good, I'm moving on. What does that mean? What does that mean? I had the second call back the following week, more of the same. And they said, "Okay, we're going to send you to Disney TV." So I thought, great, a third callback. I don't have to worry about it. These things take 3 or 4, sometimes 5 callbacks because everyone has to be involved.
Right.
I show up, and I found out it was the job. So it wasn't a callback, it was the job.
It was the actual.
Because they had paperwork. That should have been my first clue. But they were like, "Yeah, you booked it. Actually, they're ready for you right now." So I didn't have any time to freak out, and self-doubt or question, but I didn't get that tasteful crying moment where I was told.
Right.
I'm so grateful and, blush prettily. It just, like, get in there and get to work.
So when you say they're ready for you right now,
Yeah, like, go
they're
in.
like, go voice,
Yeah.
like, I mean, you're reading something cold. And
Time is money. Go
time
start
is money.
talking.
Wow.
And there were 15 people in the room.
Did you ever eventually get that chance to just like, okay, like things have slowed down for a minute. You can now take a moment, breathe, and like actually relish in the excitement that you got the role? When did that eventually come?
It happened on the drive home that same day.
drive home.
I just started crying because I was so happy, but also like confused. It was just one of those weird feelings you don't have a name for. And I called my mom and I called my friends, and then I ate $20 of Chipotle and a bottle of Martinelli's and watched Parks and Recs for 4 hours.
That was my next question. The first person you
self-care.
told was your mom.
I told my mom. Well, I left mom and dad a message because they were traveling at that point. But I called my roommate, who's one of my best friends, and he was with me every day listening. Like, I'm counting on you to hopefully not even tell the difference between what have I played, what have I repeated, what am I missing.
Yeah.
Because I trust it. It's called a friendier.
A friendier.
A friendier.
Of course, yes, a friendier.
Because they're not going to squeal.
Right, exactly.
But that was kind of the parlay into it. And I think it also just felt so odd because the room was so full of people because it was the Mickey Mouse Funhouse crew, the Clubhouse crew, the mixed up. It was a representative from every branch that Minnie would be utilized for, including 3 people in suits in the way back who got up and left halfway through the session. And then I start freaking out again, like, did I drive them away? Why would you do that? But they were higher ups who were like, they didn't believe you found someone in a month, when as other people it had taken a couple months. So they came to see, and halfway through, like, oh, okay, we sign off, and then they just left. But I don't know that, so I'm just kind of in the booth staring at the paper, like, all right, just keep going.
Wow. Now, what's interesting, especially about Minnie Mouse, is that, I mean, it's exclusively you. So you're the official voice. There aren't any understudies or anybody else that's in the wing. It's you.
Yes.
How does a normal maybe production week go for you? Does the studio say, hey, we're going to have you work Monday through Friday, this day you're doing this day you're doing this? Is it one of those things where they try to get you like for a chunk of time, or is it pretty much you're on call whenever they say, hey, come in and voice this?
It's both.
A little both? Okay.
So, like, the official term is I'm the current voice, but Disney has a time or two said official as well, so I still say current just to be safe.
Sure.
You never know. But everything after 2019 ended is my performance. And they didn't have anyone else lined up. But if I'm out of town or if I'm sick, they just wait. You know, there's no need for a backup. There was a young lady named Elise Willis who was one of the composer-lyricist team for the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse shorts, and brilliant music makers. And so she stepped in a few times to replace Rusi while Rusi was sick. And her work ended up being utilized for those projects. So over time, as the contracts renew for each project, I'll come in to re-record. But up till even today, there's still a few things she still does.
Oh,
so
wow.
I told her, like, get a copy of this show, like one of the video vloggers. That's your work as Minnie in the Trick or Treat show. Get it. Or do you have the soundboard for the Halloween fireworks? Before I replace it, get it. So that way she has proof. Because for those months, she was an official Minnie Mouse voice.
Wow.
And the sound wasn't the same, but her sincerity and her genuineness was there. So if it hadn't been me, I would have been more than happy if it had been her.
Oh, sure.
But I have no clue who else was reading with me. I don't know how close it came between anybody. I knew she was in that first callback, but I don't know who was in the second.
Right.
So
So you're like 6 years into this now.
6 years into this. Today is the 6-year anniversary of that first callback.
Wow.
So I'll celebrate by being anxious the rest of the week.
Yeah, give her a hand.
But yeah, 6 weeks today, or tomorrow technically, but the date-wise was the callback. And then the first Thursday in September is my first ever job.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bring me back a treat, okay? I haven't had breakfast.
So you're 6 years into this.
6 years into it,
And has it gotten easier? Have some of the nerves subsided? Or is it still like day one when you go in?
Well, nerves are gone. The first 6 months, I was gifted a bracelet that Rusi had when they had her wake memorial. She gifted other people in her standing will, and so Renee got a bracelet collection. She gave me a bracelet, so I wore that to every session for 6 months, just to be like, help me out, girl, come on.
Yeah.
This is don't make us both look bad. But yeah, it's really melded into like my performance of it. Some days can be rough if the weather's bad, or if my voice hasn't woken up yet, or if we do a 4-hour session, which we did do recently for a special project. She was just kind of fading out. So I know my limits, but it's definitely a lot easier now. And to answer that first question, every Friday is set aside for whatever show is happening. So it was Mixed Up Adventures, and then it was Mickey Mouse Funhouse, and now it's Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So Fridays are set aside for that. I don't work every Friday, but it's like a standing hold.
Sure.
And then any other time in the week, it could be any project. And I usually find out within a week or two of when they need it. So there are weeks where I'm up every day, and then there's weeks where I only go Friday or nothing at all. So it comes and goes.
So as a result, you live close to the studio then that you're...
Yeah, I still actually live in Anaheim from when I worked at Disneyland, so and I just commute up. It's easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. I
Mac
like
and
it.
cheesy.
It's interesting too, because obviously Disney as a property is very locked down. Was there anything surprising, and obviously I don't want you to get into, you know, company secrets or anything that would get you in trouble. Was there anything that surprised you in the paperwork that you signed that you're like, really? I can't do that?
No.
No?
Because since I had worked at Disneyland, that gave me that understanding of character branding, character integrity, how much it means for our little ones that, you know, Disneyland and Disney World are the midway points of watching your favorite show, and I want to meet my favorite character. That's where you can do that.
Sure.
So it's really important for littles, especially under 5. So Disney asked, like, I don't promote my other work alongside Minnie, just so it's a respectful distance, because I do video games, I do adult animation shows like on Adult Swim, or I'll do a wide variety of things. So I just make sure they're separate, just out of respect for all the characters involved. And then I don't do, if it's for like a close friend or family, but I don't do video messages where I do the voice, just so, because Disney doesn't want our faces on camera.
Sure.
Again, same thing, it could just be kind of confusing to littles
Of course,
versus an impressionist. But audio is always okay, because even a 1-year-old knows what a phone message is and how to scroll through. They're so smart. So Minnie's talking through the phone. So those ones are okay. And I don't have a cameo, same thing. So, and it's just to preserve that magic, keep the integrity.
Yeah, I think it's something that can get kind of easily lost amid other properties, but the fact that Disney has been able to hold that together for so long is amazing. And obviously, they've got a whole team of people that'll make sure that that happens. Let's talk.
Well, and if I'm in doubt on anything, I call that team and be like, I'd like to do this. Is this acceptable? Are there any rules? And eventually they're like, you know what to do. We trust you. But when in doubt, just keep it separate or yeah. But and I don't have the voice of Minnie as like a promotional thing. It's just voice actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's all about semantics.
Right. And so beyond Minnie, your other roles, what has been one of your other favorite voiceover things to do? Obviously, Mr. Pickles was,
Mr. Pickles was my first one, and it was just insane the whole time. It is on a permanent hiatus right now. Well, because the show Mr. Pickles ended, and then it became My Mama Named Me Sheriff.
Right.
Same show, different focus.
Yeah.
So we're on a permanent hiatus because one of our stars is in jail from the insurrection. So I don't think it's coming back.
It's gonna
but
be a bit,
it was still wonderful for what it was, and it was my first big show. And then.
But do you have a role that's like that's stuck with you? You're like, oh man, like.
Oh yeah.
These are my favorite.
Felicia in Amphibia. That was my first Disney show where she talked like this, because I based it off of my cousin's first wife's mother's stepsister who came to the wedding. And she was that kind of person of like, oh, Miss Kitty, you're looking so nice. You've lost weight. You plan to lose more, right? Just checking. Oh, bless your heart. And it was like, I know what those words mean. So I just stole her attitude and her character and made money off it. But so I really loved Felicia. I'd love that show to come back. And then I did like 9 one-off characters for a show called Thundercats Roar, which was the Thundercats with the Teen Titan Go treatment. I thought it was hilarious. And those were ensemble records, so they were so much fun. Just messing around in the whole room. And Mrs. Gristetti was my favorite one, and that one. She's just so jovial, but she doesn't like them goblin cats very much at all. She'd rather sell her calendars of her cats for profit. So that one was always my favorite of that show.
Have you ever, and I'm sure you have it amongst like close friends or whatever, has there ever been a time that you have done a voice, and probably not Minnie, but a voice to maybe either mess with somebody or maybe get back at like a telemarketer or somebody who's like, I don't know, kind of in defense of yourself or anything like that?
We've goofed around like in like a 24-hour drive-through and done accents ordering food. Like,
oh, yeah.
Could I please have your hamburger with your potato sticks and your fuzzy pop? Oh, I'm sorry, that's what we call it in Wales. And like, that's probably not true at all, but just to mess with them.
Oh, yeah.
But depending on the character, they might say something in reaction. And then people are like, can you do that again? Like, no.
No.
It never happened.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I always do like a surreptitious look of like, if anyone have their cameras out or video? If no proof, it didn't happen.
Yep, exactly.
Well, we certainly goof around a lot.
Sure.
But never only at home or in the car. I
Yeah.
don't like to do that in a public.
Oh, of course. You know, gotta keep the magic. What have you? I mean, obviously, you know, if the rest of your career you're Minnie Mouse, I mean, you're content, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
Like Minnie is, I'm so grateful for her just because she's helped me out in some rough patches. She helped me out during the pandemic, and I was raised about, you know, I was raised to be frugal and then seek out the stability. Just, you know, take risks, but make sure the rewards are worth the risks.
Right.
And I was just always kind of nervous. And some of our family members never did well, and we lived in a rocky part of San Diego, so it was just making sure like you have a roof over your head and food in your stomach. So Minnie is the most stable work a voice
Sure.
actor can get, Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah.
Just because they'll be around well after I'm gone. There's always something going. I think they are the two most longest, I don't know if I'd say highest paying, but like the longest stability. So I feel I would be content if I just had her, but I certainly want to do more.
Yeah,
Because
and-
any actor wants to feed their soul by doing more and being more.
And what would that, you know, professional smorgasbord look like for you if you were to venture out and do something else that you haven't maybe done before that you'd like to try?
Well, I don't often do, by choice, I don't do like the video games with hard military women just because it kind of thrashes me. But I've never been like a lead role in a show before. I think that would be kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Disney movie, like a featured role. I mean, I'm not the princess type or the villain type, but I could be the wacky sidekick. But something like that would be great. Any opportunities with the Looney Tune characters? All the female
yeah.
characters have current voices, but you know, there's an age difference, so it's not impossible in the future. And like we goof around. I do fun TikToks with my friend Danny on where he sketches out skits and we do the voices together, and it's really fun. So I do Witch Hazel for like those play videos, or I did the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio, but I made sure it was very different from the official Blue Fairy.
Right.
Because one of my contacts said, as your friend, these videos are hilarious. As the Disney employee, don't ever do the real Blue Fairy voice. Just keep it this weird Jersey voice. That way there's no conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But I know how to play the field. And it's just fun for comedy. We're not doing it for anything other than ourselves.
Sure.
And if it makes people happy, that's the whole point. Because that's my job on this earth, is to give to others what was given to me through entertainment.
Well, you do such a great job at it.
I hope so. So thank you.
Of course, absolutely. I want to open the floor up to questions because that's half the fun of these panels. This will also give you a chance to take a sip of water. And what we'll do, basically, just ask you all to raise your hand if you have a question for our friend Caitlyn here. My friend Lauren will come around. She's in the wonderful orange bandana with the big orange microphone. And so if you have a question,
It's more of a goldenrod.
I guess it is. Disney, they're very specific on those shades. So, yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, my name is Chris Maddox. I have a question, and it's at the beginning of your statement, you were saying that you knew you wanted to be an actor, actress, and you soon learned that it'd be a voice actress. I have a daughter that just knows that she's going to be on stage and be an actress and all that. I don't know that will ever happen. What could she do that maybe could start learning to be a voice actress?
Well, she's already on a great start. She wants to do theater acting first, like school plays.
She's already in a troupe.
She's already doing it.
Everything,
That's
yeah.
the best training for acting, in my opinion, stage training. Shakespeare, I don't like Shakespeare, but you know, that's Shakespeare training is great for the gravitas of like on camera,
Yeah.
but musicals and plays, that's great training for acting that can transition to voiceover much more seamlessly, because she knows how to perform with her voice. Because if you're in the back row of the mezzanine, you can't really see much, like everyone's kind of a blob. So, but they hear the story mostly. So she's already got a fantastic start. And for anyone else who wants this, the two websites I always say to start with is iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. It's D. Bradley Baker's website, and he has a massive wealth of knowledge on their pages talking about every niche aspect of it. Because if you want to be a voiceover, here's the nitty-gritty of his experience, like his real-world experience. Here's things you can help streamline that he found out the hard way. You don't have to. Here's like a guideline of your best, strongest foot forward to do voiceover. And then he has a comment board that when I last checked, he would reply to pretty frequently. So people could ask questions. They have FAQs if it's a very commonly asked question. And then the other website, when she's ready to start really tackling it, is voiceoverresourceguide.com, because it's California-based, but it can give her an idea for additional training for voiceover. It has demo production houses listed, agencies listed, training classes listed, audio technical supplies listed. Like, it's meant to be the resource for all things voiceover. And a lot of that has remote options too. So if she lives out in this area, the pandemic made it so that remote is here to stay. So she can train with the best teachers who do voiceover classes that do it viral on Zoom. She can learn from D. Bradley Baker and get that wealth of knowledge there. She can create a demo, build up her character work, and then submit it to all the agencies, because they can have remote talent represented now. You don't have to live in LA to be at AVO. You could live here or in New York or in Georgia or in Texas, because all of it is remote capable now. So her options are much more vast and opportunistic now. And which of course is the same for everybody. So the competition's a lot more now, but the right talent will get the right roles.
Yeah.
And if she keeps going for it, she'll find success.
Yeah.
Because I was actively going at it for 10 years before I even got Felicia. And that was like my first big role. I had done little things, but I didn't feel like I was making a dent. But the practice pays off.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a little pricey too, but save your pennies. As if she's enjoying the journey as much as the destination, it's not a waste of money, it's not a waste of time. You got your money's worth for that whole journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, I'm Roan. I talked to you yesterday. With Minnie, she has a lot of vibrato in her voice, right? Especially like talking to Mickey and whatnot and hitting those high notes. I was just wondering how hard of an obstacle that was to recreate, unless it was just natural.
Well, I knew from the get-go she was a vaudevillian-styled person, and then what Rusi did, she did the oh, Mr. Grand from Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
So, and I took 1/4 of opera training in college before I ditched and stopped doing it, because I just wanted opera 101 to learn the techniques and the basis. I didn't want to do opera. So when they're like, now we're going to get into practice work, I said goodbye, because I just wanted the training elements, because she is a high soprano. So it was learning the vibrato, learning how to singing lessons helped immensely, because Minnie sings, and she was never like the most perfect singer, but she could certainly hold a tune, and there was a lot of that vibrato in it. And then these days, because I took so much singing training, now Minnie's a bit of a pop star. So we do a lot of pop songs that are really fun, but I definitely try to make it Minnie and not Caitlyn.
Right.
And I've forgotten how I sing myself. I sing in character so much I don't even remember how Caitlyn can sing anymore. But yeah, it's just constant practice, being a soprano, and the opera training. That's what helped me maintain it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Come over to this side of the room.
Hello, Miss Caitlyn.
Hi.
I had a quick question. I noticed you have a portfolio of various, mediums you do. You have like some anime work, some, video game work, obviously animation, American animation.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what you consider like the, interesting differences between each kind of medium you work in, because obviously you're more used to Disney animation mostly, but, I'm sure there's a lot of, differences that you'd probably say, oh, that's unique, this is that between all the experiences you had.
Yeah, but with Minnie, it's such a specific sound. That's the only character I would do such a voice for. If I have a higher pitched character or a cute character, I try to push it further down so it doesn't sound the same. Like, you might hear hints of it, just because I am the same person, but the goal is to make sure nothing taps into that, so she's her own person. But then I just change it vocally differently. Like for Nikkei, Cinderella, and Helm, the Cinderella voice we decided on sounded similar to Helm, so I changed Helm to be a little bit different. So like the first round 3 years ago compared to now, she's different, but it's still two separate characters. Chloe from Fire Emblem, that's just my natural voice, which was really nice to do for a change.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And keep a smile on your face the whole time, because that'll change your sound as well. any wacky character range I live for, because it's just a chance to mess around and make a sound. And even if I do a really bad impression of a celebrity, that's its own character somewhere else. So we did one for, not Loud House, I forget what it was, but we did one where it was my best Bobcat Goldthwait, which was terrible. So they just made her like this weird, like, blue block of an alien. They're in the store and she wants to make sure you got what you're getting. But
I was gonna say, Bobcat's already kind of a, bizarre
he is.
voice anyway, so, wow.
Pays off for him too.
Have you had to do any, like, just piggybacking off of that real quick, sorry, have you had to do any, like, for video games, have you had to do any, like, motion capture or anything like that, or has it all just been voice work for you?
It's been voice work. I did one game that is coming out next year. I auditioned for and I booked a particular NPC role. And they had the motion capture on my face and on this little helmet.
How
so
was that to deal with?
It was fine for what it was. I have to be careful for my neck just because I helped out Eeyore many, many years ago and Clara Cluck at Disneyland, and I took a dive. And so I tore my neck muscle. And so Disney, they helped take care of it, but it's forever kind of kinked. So if I'm wearing headphones all day or a mocap helmet, that can
Kind of
aggravate it. But everything was fine until I looked over and saw what they were seeing on their cameras of how it looked. And it was like a really big nose and the really big eyes and a tiny chin. And like it's ergonomics, so the face doesn't move except my eyes. So it was really weird to see that.
Oh, wow.
But I haven't done any other mocap.
Okay.
I'd like to, though. I just there are classes that also teach that. Sure. So I just got to find the time and the confidence to do it.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
All right, next question here in the front row.
Hi, so it's really nice to meet you, really nice to talk to you. I also, this is not part of the question, I mean, kind of is. I used to work at Disney as well.
Yeah?
So I didn't really, I was like, oh my God.
What'd you do?
So I worked attractions at the Seas at Epcot, but in Orlando. But my question was, what has been your favorite project you've done, like with the Minnie voice, like a part of Disney, and maybe in the movies or in the TV shows? I don't know if there's a movie, but or
Not a
just, like,
movie. We had the Once Upon a Studio short that was made from Disney feature animation, and it aired in theaters for a little bit. That one was really special because of how big an anniversary it was, and all the characters are together, House of Mouse style, Roger Rabbit style. I love that. I like that they're all interacting because they come from this world. So I want more of that. And then the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse shorts were so wild and wacky. The ones on Disney Plus, they're like the 7-minute ones. But that one really allowed me to play and goof around and improv through Minnie. Still make sure she's herself, but just have more fun, playful reactions with her. So those hold a special place too.
Now,
the songs were so good.
Now, are you getting to do any of your voiceover work with the other cast in studio with you, or are you doing your stuff pretty much solo?
We're solo.
Okay, that's what I figured. I know a lot of the anime guys are doing their stuff solo as well.
Yeah.
Disney.
Thundercats was ensemble.
Yeah.
The Little Einsteins show that I do is ensemble. So we love those the most. I wish we could just do more of them.
Yeah.
But it felt like Tress, who's the voice of Daisy Duck, it felt like she was in the booth with me those first few months, because they would play in her lines and I would react to them. So that way I could give an organic reply.
Sure.
But it felt like she was right there in the room as well. And I didn't even meet her until like a couple years later.
Oh, wow.
But, and so I try to keep it real cool. Because she's a huge inspiration. Tress MacNeille and Maurice LaMarche are massive role models and inspirations for me. So everything I try to do, it's like, well, because they did it. It's just in my way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Next question, as we're looking around
one
right
over
over here at the
there.
very end.
She's coming. Oh, she's coming. She running.
She's there.
Outside of the voice of Minnie Mouse, what does your schedule for other voice acting roles usually look like?
It changes every week. Usually Minnie, since we know about it in advance, we encourage any other jobs to be Monday through Thursday, but they're in usually 2 blocks, 9 to 1 or 2 to 6. Sometimes it could be outside of that, like 11 to 1. It's such a team effort for the engineers or the director or the scriptwriter. But for the most part, I've noticed toys and cruise line and interdepartment stuff is on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Nickelodeon is often on Mondays. DreamWorks is usually Thursdays. and then Bang Zoom is often Fridays. So like that's kind of how they often play out. But your mileage may vary. It just every week is something new. So I don't really plan too much ahead. If it's like, you want to see a movie? Like, the idea sounds great. We'll see if it's doable, seeing how the day ends. But if I'm planning a vacation somewhere, that's easy to do because I can just book out the time, and then I'll reach out. My agents are phenomenal, but I also reach out to the scheduler on the client side just to be like, in case things get heavy or accidentally slip through the cracks or Gmail eats it, I will be gone from August 1st through 10th. So that way you don't even have to worry about going to agents who then go to me, who then go back to the agents who that.
Right.
We can just cut that off at the
you can block
pass.
that.
But yeah, but I don't travel too much. Or if I do, it's very short and sweet, or they know well in advance.
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
I had a follow-up to it, and then I just blanked because I was so focused on your answer. It'll come to me, I'm sure, here. Other questions? Again, feel free to raise your hand. I guess while I'm thinking
and
about
I'll
it.
be at the table. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back for one more. While we're running the mic to you, what does your downtime look like? How do you like to spend your free time? Any hobbies that you have outside?
Well, I collect art books. I will read them one day, but I have them. The point is I
At
have
least
them.
collecting them.
But we have AMC lists, so we try to see movies a couple times a week. And it's good study material for me to do looping on, like if I do loop work on the backgrounds of movies. So, and that's just like if you see a crowd scene, we come in and scream or yell or do call outs. So I did that for Frozen 2, Guardians 3, Fantastic Four. So I think I've heard myself once as a feature call out in Fantastic Four. I just have to go back and rewatch it. But so that's also something I'm very fond of doing. So if I just did Minnie and looping the rest of my life, I'd be happy. But I'll go out for more for sure.
But even like downtime, like that's what
Downtown,
you like to,
we see movies. I
outside,
read
yeah.
books a lot. I read comics, Korean web comics.
Oh, cool.
We will binge some shows. But I Futurama, anything on NBC, just comfort shows, RuPaul's Drag Race. I really learned how to cook during the pandemic, so cooking dinners is a lot of fun. And so we'll invite friends over, like, please eat the food. I spent 2 hours cooking and only 15 minutes eating.
Have you seen the new King of the Hill that's out?
Not yet. Is it good?
Oh, you are going to love it. Hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn when I say this. I think they stayed very true to the original story, and obviously, you've got the deaths of Johnny Hardwick and
Brittany Murphy.
And Brittany
I
Murphy
was worried
and,
because I'd miss
those
Luann
guys.
too much. She was so good.
But the way they progressed the story was good. So yeah, I highly recommend that if so. All right, to your question. Sorry.
Yes, actually, it was related to what you just said, actually. They have a lot of questions they ask artists and, creators, especially often. It's always like, what inspires you? What's your favorite this and that? And I think, because you're a voice actress, I'm pretty sure you have some strong opinions on, certain things that, inspired you. So I wanted to ask, what's your favorite, what's your favorite movie? That's probably a good question, What's your favorite film or, TV show in general?
Number one, I used to say Hook was my favorite film, but it's my most important film because I didn't watch it that often after a certain point. So that's the most important film. My favorite film of all time is Space Jam, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
My second favorite film is Gremlins 2, The New Batch, because it's a live-action Looney Tune, basically. And my third favorite movie is Back to the Future. It's not 3 separate movies. It's one movie with 2 bathroom breaks. So all 3 of those parts count as one movie.
Yes.
And then TV show, oh God, Sailor Moon, Futurama, Parks and Recs.
Oh yeah.
Love Parks and Recs. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We're the first season of The Last of Us. I loved so much, and then I was sad, so I haven't watched the second.
You seen St. Dennis Medical?
No, how's that?
That one's actually pretty good. Yeah.
I heard The Pit is good too.
Yeah, The Pit's
But
good.
HBO Max has a lot of good shows on there. Righteous Gemstones is really funny. Flag Means Death. Like, there's so many good shows out there. And I do want to see, like, Severance. So I ask my friends what they're watching because we're so like-minded. Because the only good reviewer is yourself. So TV Guide could say, this is the best show. And then 5 episodes in, no, it ain't. It's not the good show. Or they're like, this show is trite and pedantic. And, like, that show's hilarious.
Yeah.
You just don't know comedy.
It's like people when they say, oh, have you seen The Office? You're going to get people that really love it or people that just don't get it. Yeah. So
But I think everyone has the one episode they agree on is the most cringy one that they won't watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't even have to say the name, but you just know.
We know that episode.
Which makes it its own unique good episode because they made everyone talk about it.
Yeah. Any other questions? scenes. I know that something will come up. That was a spectacular jumping off point, though.
But if you can't think of any right now, I'm still at the table.
Yeah.
I'll be there at 2:45 to 3:45, and then I gotta go away and fly away.
Lauren, we've got one right here in the second. She's like, I've got to walk all the way up front. No. It's all right. She's going to go back and grab the microphone because she put it down. And then she's going to walk around. So, yeah, you'll be at your, while we're waiting, you'll be at your booth the rest of the...
Yeah, after that, I'll take a quick 30 after this to get some lunch and actually eat something.
Yeah.
And then,
Artists gotta eat, too.
2:45 to 3:45. If I can be back sooner, I will. And then pack up and fly away.
On to the next. Yes.
But same thing, if anyone had additional questions, I'm happy to answer. Yes, my dear.
I got here late, and I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to know, like, what was your favorite scene of, like, Minnie Mouse that you did throughout the whole, like, entire show?
So you talked about the shorts and how, like, you really liked the work, but was there any particular scene maybe in any one of those?
Yes.
Or what have you?
Well, my favorite scene we did in Mixed Up Adventures, back when I first started, was Daisy in her delightful thinking process. She mistakenly thinks her grandmother's a superhero, but her grandmother just has a costume of her favorite comic book superhero for a party. So not only does she think the comic books are now real, but that her grandmother's the superhero, and now she has to take over because her grandmother's been kidnapped. We don't know how she got to that point. But she's like, oh, you guys can be my sidekicks and you'll use your powers. And the correct response for Minnie would have been, well, how do we do that? But my third throwaway take was, how do we do that? Just like, please, Daisy, I'm dying to know. How do we do that? It was very Caitlyn, and they kept that take.
Oh, wow.
They kept that one, which surprised me. And then anytime I'm out of Minnie's voice for something wild and wacky, so like there's the episode of Wonderful World where the ghosts move into Mickey's house, and he's just being, torn at the seams, accommodating them. He can't sleep. They're scaring him all the time. And they go to the bowling alley, and Minnie rolls a strike, and she just goes, yes! It was a strike, Minnie! Mickey? Or the snake oil salesman was like, don't you want to make the whole world happy? And she goes, the whole world? So anytime I'm a dichotomy to that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, the strike was, yes! 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 And then that's the one they kept. And then the horror movie one, where Donald and Daisy lie and say they're sick, they can't hang out. So Mickey and Minnie go to their house like, we'll take care of you, but it's like a horror movie.
Oh, right.
Minnie's got the Nosferatu fingers coming around the corner. And Daisy tries to hide in a pile of plushies. We don't know why that pile's there.
Yeah.
But she's hiding in it, frozen with her eyes open, and a fly is on her eye because she can't move. And Minnie just comes in going like, Daisy, Daisy, I hear you have the flu. Like really creepy.
Oh, man.
And like she's going towards Daisy's face, and then she grabs a different plushie. And they've got gloves and masks on because, we're here to, they break into their home to help them. They chase them to a cliff because we want to make you feel better.
Of course.
That's all it is, but it's straight up horror movie. I think like the door opens and you see Mickey, and the door opens the other way and Mickey's gone. The door opens and Mickey pops up from the shelf. So it's such a funny one.
Oh, yeah.
So if you got Disney Plus, watch Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse.
As we wind things down, got a couple minutes left. Obviously, I know that there's a lot of NDAs and stuff that we can't talk about. Anything that you want to maybe hint about or suggest specific places or avenues to pay attention to more information should those be getting released soon?
Nothing that's really seeing soon. Like it's all been announced. So like there's a new Lego Disney Princess movie coming out in a week or so, or maybe tomorrow actually, the 25th?
I think
it
correct,
comes out tomorrow. There's a new Lego Princess movie on on Disney Plus that's like a sequel to the first one. And for no reason at all, the two geese from Aristocats are going to be walking in the background commenting on everything and just gossiping to each other. We don't know why they're there. But I'm the pink one who's also Lady Cluck and Robin Hood. So the color scheme is opposite.
Oh,
So I'm the pink goose. And then my sister, who's Abigail in the blue bonnet, it's Haley Claire, who's the granddaughter of Harriet Burns, the Imagineer.
Oh, wow.
So that was just a wild happenstance.
Wow.
So we're going to be those geese tomorrow.
That is.
So I'm very excited to see that because that was very fun to do.
But obviously, other stuff you can't. But like, are you excited about the new stuff that's coming down?
Yes,
that you're
I
working on
am.
right now?
Clubhouse has so many great new songs that I really love. That's coming. I'm I'm negotiating a couple shows.
Ooh.
So it's not set
okay.
in stone yet, but I'm very hopeful.
Yeah.
So, but it is kind of a lull at the moment.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but there's such a wealth of stuff out there already.
Exactly. Well, we look forward to seeing it all. Kaitlyn Robrock, everyone,
Thank
give
you,
her a round of
guys.
applause.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We
course.
appreciate you, and best of luck going forward.
Oh, thank you, everyone.
We're going to take a quick break. Coming back at 2:30 will be our final panel of the weekend, and that will be with the upstarts of NXT. The pro wrestlers are here, and I'm hoping I don't go through a table. I know, right?
Sean Legacy's banner is angled where it looks like he's staring at me. Like, you wore that today? Like, it's just hung up a certain way. And I told him that. Yeah. He's like, well, then good. If I can't keep an eye on you myself, my poster will. He's so funny. He's a really good guy.
Yeah. So you guys do what you need to do. Hit the restroom, hit the concession stand. I'm going to go make sure my insurance is up to speed before we start that interview, and we'll be back here right at 2:30. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Speaking of.
She's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind, my mind. Oh, she's hot but a psycho, so left but she's right though.